I come bearing good news. Yes, I do. There was a time in between when the umpires, the ground staff were everyone out there and it seemed like, well, we were going to have a no-show. But we have a show. India versus Australia. The second T20I is a go. Welcome to Cricbuzz Live. My name is Tanay Tiwari. With me, Bhattacharjya, Ajay Jadeja. Gentlemen, welcome. First news first. It's an 8-over per side game. India won the toss and the playing conditions are each side plays 8 overs, power play of 2 overs, 2 overs maximum per bowler. India won the toss, opted to field here. Rohit Sharma said that these games can be very challenging because sometimes you don't know what to do and it's an 8-over game. Both these countries have never played this short a T20I ever. So this is going to be a good challenge. Do you treat this then as a simulation perhaps?
Yeah, you got to. I mean, you have no other choice because, you're used to a 50-over game that you used to and then 20 overs came in. And I mean, not that this is a format, but it's one-off day. So you'd probably, start the game as if, 12 overs, no wickets down. Your certain bowlers are only left with 2 overs, certain are left with 1. But it'll be interesting to see because, the game starts with a new ball. Yeah. So will you have your seamers bowl that 13th over, I mean, in this case, the first over, or you want your spinners to bowl at the end. So it'll be interesting to see how teams think today. And most interesting for me will be to see what kind of 11 they've picked. Because, in a 50-over game, I keep harping, you got 7 batsmen. In 20-over also, you want 7. I hope in 8-over game also, they don't keep 7 and keep only 5 bowlers. Because, there's no chance of 8 guys getting in. So you want to rather add a fast bowler. But it'll be interesting to see when the news comes down.
Yeah, that's very interesting, Joy, because especially in an environment where the bowlers have taken quite a beating in the past few games.
Yeah, look, the whole point is that you can bowl a maximum of 5 bowlers. In effect, you can bowl 6 bowlers technically if you want to. But I think they must be having some rules that only 3 bowlers can bowl 2 overs to make sure that every team uses 5 bowlers. So, yeah, I mean, the question is that bowling resources you'll still have to use. Your batting resources are the one you're now questioning, saying that do I need that many batsmen? Instead, seeing the conditions and seeing what the ball is doing, perhaps I could have had a couple more bowling options. I'd go for more bowling options under these circumstances.
Yeah, correct. Let's have a look at India's playing 11 who won the toss and have elected to field. Let's see if they've sprung surprises there. And they have. Rishabh Pant comes in for Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Jasprit Bumrah, of course, walks in for Umesh Yadav. But AJ, just on cue, what you were saying, Rishabh Pant comes in. India opt for an extra batter in place of a bowler.
No rocket science there to figure that out. I want to know who's this rocket scientist who's thinking that, in an 8-over game, we need to add a little bit more of firepower in batting. But I'm sure there must be a thought because there's a whole lot of, people who are thinking about this game there and their data. Maybe something that I can't see because, simple logic and not cricketing logic. It tells me that, if you have an extra bowler in hand, you might use one and not use another. But if you have an extra batsman in hand, it doesn't allow you to play any differently. Because as you said at the start, it could be a simulation of, a game that would be at around over number 12, 13. So if you are at over number 12, no loss, do you want an extra batsman or do you want an extra bowler?
Yeah, that's true. And that's very interesting, actually. And I kind of agree with that, Joy, because like we just discussed, that your bowlers were taking a beating. Of course, there's no way you can bat all of those 7-8 batters now.
You can't. See, I think what they're looking at is they already have a plan now saying these are the 5 bowlers who are going to bowl. Now, the point is, of those 5, at least 2 of them are going to bowl just 1 over each. So, whether they get hit or they don't get hit, the captain doesn't need to bother what happens if he gets hit because he's just got 1 over. It's over. You can't change him anymore after that. Correct. You get my point? So, maybe they're looking at it that way and saying, here's my preset bowling plan. He's going 1 and 3, you're going 2 and 4, you're going... So, they've set their preset bowling plan. And they're saying that even if a guy gets hit, I'm not going to change him because only 3 guys are going to get 2 overs. The other 2 are going to get 1 each. So whether they get hit or not, it is immaterial. In any case, I still think that it would have been, and it's very interesting, where do you now bowl the spinners? India has a better situation because, at least, I think the toughest thing, as everyone's been talking about it, is setting the target. What is the target? Is it 120? Is it 115? Is it 100? Is it 140? Somewhere between 100 and 140 is probably where you'll probably land at. Okay? Then, in that case, India will know what to do. But there is still a problem. Where do you bowl your spinners?
But Joyda, say if you were captain of this side and whatever the score you have, the opposition plays a trick. He sends in a left-hander. If you have an extra bowler in your side who does the other thing, you could use that. Or say on the other side, the right-hander. Because
You can
how are you going to use these 7 batsmen? Please explain.
No,
to
no,
me.
I
No, but you need to explain. You
explain तो आपको करना पड़ेगा.
करना पड़ेगा. So this batting order in 8-over game would remain the same, you think? And you bat all the way down to Harshal Patel now. I mean, not leave that Patel out.
Yeah, exactly.
But Akshar Patel for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're talking about over, 6.5, I think Akshar Patel is as good or as bad a batsman as anybody in the top order. He's going to swing his bat just as hard.
Yeah.
If you walk in under those circumstances, nobody's going to build innings in 8 overs. Let's face that.
I hope not.
But can the thought there be then, because a bowler can bowl a maximum of 2 overs, we just need 4 bowlers to bowl those 8 overs?
No, of course, because you can't go beyond that, right?
Of course, yeah.
So you have an 8-over game. If you can play a trick on the other team, have 5 bowlers options, right? You have now 5 bowlers option. And now it's in hindsight, so it's actually easy for us to look at this. You're batting first, whatever you've scored, you've scored. Now you're going to go to bowl. Australia has a think tank as well, right? They have batting order that they can tinker with. With this bowling, only these 5 bowlers, once you start with one of them, whoever it starts, the rest of the 7 overs, you can easily predict how India will have a bowling option. Na?
All right.
Whereas if you had 2 more bowlers in this, say 1 or 2, then no matter who's bowled the first over, you will have 7 more options to play with.
So what he's saying, and in effect, is that you can't react now to what Australia is going to try from a bowling point of view.
Yeah, you've laid your cards out.
You put your cards on the table, saying, okay, these are my 4 major bowlers. Maximum, your 4th bowler, who's going to bowl the 3, you decide between bowlers 2 and 3.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing you're going to decide.
Yeah,
and is that 7th batsman going to be of use to you is exactly what they're asking.
Yeah,
he's asking.
What's a good captain versus not a good captain? You've been with us for long enough. He's the man who takes a decision there and then.
Absolutely.
But if his hands are tied, he's only got 5. What is the good captain
not
going
reactive,
to do?
as you guys say.
Yeah, so, it's all been set. He'll bowl this over, he'll bowl that over. Chalo, khelo.
Correct. But the one thing that's on my mind ever since I saw that team sheet is the name of Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Now, he's not had the best of times. We've seen how he's taken beating, the 19th over runs and the way he's leagued. Look at that. The dot ball percentage has gone down. The boundary percentage is 60.46%, and that's huge in the last few games. Now, how much of a dent will this put to his confidence? Because this is a game, of course, you would have wanted him to come in, and as we were talking, perhaps give him a simulation. Tell him, these are the death overs, go and do your thing. Now he's not there.
He's been rested, he's been injured, we don't know at the moment.
Nothing, no update, just a replacement as well.
Bhuvneshwar Kumar's been around for so long that, it's very, there's no opinion about it. It's a fact that we've seen him over the years is that if there is help in the wicket, there is something happening, he is one of your finest. There's no doubt. Because what he has, he has that ability. But if the wicket hasn't got any much help for a fast bowler, or for somebody like Bhuvneshwar Kumar where the ball's not seaming around, he hasn't been that effective. So that's the reality. But, if he's missing out today, I think he'd be happier. He'd be happier on a game like this when you want to come and find your form back or find confidence.
Yeah.
You would want to have 3-4 overs to, feel good about it.
Correct.
Whereas, in a shorter game, I think the smarter and, which he is, he certainly is maybe short on skill somewhere, but he's definitely more experienced than the other guys around. And he's smarter. So he would have got away because it's now about, say, if you're bowling 2 overs, it's 12 balls. 1 at the top, maybe 1 at the back. So in those 6 balls, if you can... I've been wanting to talk about this for a very long time. I'll use this opportunity.
Sure thing.
So in the game of cricket, there's only 2 things. Either you beat the opposition or you deceive the opposition. So in this case, you could actually get away by deceiving in a shorter game. That's what happens. So I'm saying at the experience, he would have deceived 3 balls out of those 6, which is 50% of his bowling.
Yeah, and who knows, Joy, maybe that helps his confidence because he's down on confidence. Those numbers also show that. Perhaps this is what he needs. Perhaps 2 good overs here and there, maybe a couple of wickets there, and his confidence is up. Right now, with that form, with that confidence, it's not helping his cause.
Look, you're absolutely right. I fully agree. And he's a smart player. He's a smart cookie. He'd know what to do. And I feel in the beginning he would have probably, he had the experience to deceive the batsman a bit. I think they're weighing 2 things up. The one is Bhuvneshwar's confidence, which is important to India. But right now, the Indian team's confidence and the public's confidence in the Indian team, they feel is under threat. So they're saying, what do we now need to take a chance with? Do we prop Bhuvaneshwar or do we try and maximize our chances of winning? And whatever they believe, perhaps they believe that dropping Bhuvaneshwar would help them. We may agree or disagree is a different matter altogether.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
they seem to think that maybe this is the team that we want to use. So I think right now, given the kind of, and this is the problem, trial by media going around so much around them, I think it is more important for India or the Indian think tank to win this match rather than give Bhuvaneshwar confidence. I think that's the call they've made right now.
All right.
What's the Australian side?
Yeah, let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at Australia's playing 11 as well. Australia, of course,
we get emotional with our team. So let's see what happens on the
They've
other
also
side.
made 2 changes, of course.
So they bring in an all-rounder in place of?
They have brought Daniel Sams
in place of who?
for Nathan Ellis, of course, and Sean Abbott for Josh Hazelwood. So Josh Inglis, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Josh Inglis.
So look, they've basically, and Sams is a tricky bowler. He's the best of bowlers. Sean Abbott can whack the ball just as hard as, Josh Inglis could have. So I think they know they're set in their batting. Interesting to see Zampa in, but otherwise this is not really too much changes. They've just got a trickier bowler. Again, you have a new bowler who they haven't seen for a while. 1 over, he just gets away with it. Gets a 1 over out, gets 3-4 balls out before the batsman even sort of sets into what kind of lengths he's bowling, what kind of speed he's bowling. So in short formats, that's the one thing. Which is why in IPL you'll have guys who come suddenly do very well at the start of the season and then the sort of research on them starts. And this is exactly that. 1 over is out. I mean, at the end of the day, 1 over is 12.5% of your innings.
Correct.
You get away with 1 over.
That's true. This game is too short. I mean,
It is too short. 8 overs is too short,
very short.
which means our prediction game is also going to get tougher. Now, let me give you a cheat sheet. India's 5th bowler on that lineup, Hardik Pandya, is bowling the first over. How many do Australia get?
Oh, 8 overs. It's slow outfield. So, and I don't know, but 1-1.
101?
Or
Shagun ka number, sir?
Shagun 101 या 111?
Whatever you say, sir, we'll park accordingly. So you first choose a parking slot and then we'll park accordingly.
I think I feel like going for 111.
111? Shagun ka number 111. What about you, JB?
I think Vishwanath 97, it was in Chennai, 1974-75 series. One of the greatest innings I've seen. 97 is what I'll go for.
97, 111, 105. मैं तो वहीं बीच में park करता हूँ, sir. I always choose wisely. I'm covered on either sides then.
I don't know whether it's wise or not.
अरे sir, sitting with the wisest of voices.
That's what I'm saying. वो नहीं मुझे पता कि हमारे बीच में wise है कि नहीं.
I know.
Excuse me, he's playing the modesty card, but the game is underway. We'll, of course, not see you at the end of 10 overs because there are no 10 overs. So no Cricbuzz Combox, of course, in the mid-innings with Cricbuzz Live. That's all on this edition of Cricbuzz Live. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, JB. Thank you to all of you as well. We'll see you super soon.